There's power in stories.
Hey, what's back? It's Crimson Wolf, and welcome to an actual news update for Dragon Age 4. I don't usually do these, but Bioware released a behind-the-scenes trailer at Gamescom on August 27th, and I didn't know this came out until late last night. So here I am going to do a quick speculation of what we see. So without further ado, let's actually get right into it, because this is like a 4-minute video, but I may have a lot to say about it. So let's immediately go ahead and go into this. Okay, so we start with Casey Hudson kind of just starting out speaking here, which is fine. And we're going to just see what he says. But he's just, he's introducing the trailer. We're going to kind of skip through this a little bit. No offense, Mr. Hudson, but we're going to get right into it, where we see Mark Dara, which, he always has to be in these things at this point. If he's not in it, it's a bit weird. You see a senior game designer, which I don't really want to skip over what they said, but at the same time I don't want to show everything to the video, but here there's Anthem Javelin, which Anthem, it wasn't the greatest game, but I did have fun with it when I was playing it. The new Bioware studio, she's the gameplay designer, so alright. Technical director. Now, okay, here's the first concept art we have, which right off the bat we already know we're going into Venture. That is not a surprise at all to any of us at this point. The architecture, given how little we know with the Venture, is like the buildings to like the right and everything pretty much says to Venture to me, but at the same time some of these more rounded ones don't particularly say to Venture as well. So I'm not sure. At least again, this is concept art, so how this would change may differ, but I don't know. This does, for the most part, does probably feel like more to Venture, given the fact that it rides on. This could just be a river that runs through the city, or it could be the actual ocean that's around Venture. Seeing that they are on the northern part of Thetis, and they face that sea. But this is interesting. The first thing I thought of when I saw this concept art was the chambers that we go into after we collected all the shards that's around all of Thetis, especially in the Interlands. But that's what I thought of. I thought that this is where you put the shards in, but given the scale of this thing, it's massive. Because look, this is a person right here, and unsure if this is human or dwarf, but it is kind of a. This door is massive, depending on, regardless if this is a human or a dwarf. That's a massive door, and what lays inside, never know. Alright, so continue to go ahead. Now this just definitely screams to Venture to me, given the architecture. This looks like the Venture, the weight of water, like just how it lays on the water, architecture in the back. Definitely the Venture architecture, in my opinion, from what I can tell. And so this shouldn't be, again, not very surprising that we're going to the Venture. It's just obvious at this point. Next thing, now this is interesting. This character right here, given the mustache, given where we're going, this looks like Dorian. If this isn't Dorian, then this he's very similar to Dorian. They probably just drew him here just to draw him here, like just to have him. But this looks like Dorian to me. And if we don't encounter Dorian while we're in Venture, that's a big miss. I'm assuming we're interacting with him at least once. Maybe we're actually saving him, because given how like the arrows are coming out the ground, looks like people are attacking him, which we know at the end of Trespass and everything. Some people did, it's spoilers for this, which if you haven't finished Trespasser, it's been 4 years. I mean, come on, you gotta pick up the pace here. But we know that some people, did go ahead and, kill Dorian's father. They may be targeting Dorian, so we may have had to save Dorian from an attack here, which that would be cool. But the bigger question here is, are we going to be able to swim in DA4? That would be really cool. I find it highly unlikely, but you never know. That would be really cool if we can, swim. Now this one right here to the right, she kind of gives me Isabella vibes. I don't think it's Isabella. The only reason I think that's because, how she looks, and then the dagger right here kind of reminds me, I think, what was it called? The Dagger of the Four Winds. That was in the DA2 Mark of the Assassin DLC. I think that's what, I think it was like the dagger of 4 winds, I believe. I'm not sure if that's the right name for it. That's what that reminds me of. Right, Isabella ends up, you know, breaking the dagger or something. But given the fact that it's treasure and everything, to see how this character kind of looks kind of like Isabella with the clothes and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Isabella, but I don't think it is. It's probably, again, it's just concept art. Now this character here, this looks like this could be the protagonist, and it could be us saving or helping Dorian. Looks like we sunk a ship, given how that the helm of it's going down. I don't know, maybe Isabella and Dorian came and helped save us, or maybe Isabella came with us and we helped save Dorian, or maybe we save Isabella, because she kind of looks like, I don't know, it could be something like that along those lines, but who knows. Going forward, we see the creative director, Matthew Goldman, who, you know, took over from Mike Laidlaw. Let's see, and then now this is really cool. So right here to the left, that's a Qunari, hands down, big dude, Qunari, no question about that, in my opinion. Obviously a mage. Don't know why you're doing this right here, given that your guy right here is trying to tell you to stop giving the hand signal. This woman, obviously a archer. I know that's a bow. I'm just trying to see if this right here is a crossbow, because it might be a crossbow given this. Obviously it's not like Bianca. This is a very slow crossbow. And obviously a mage. And he has a symbol on his chest. I definitely don't think it's the Grey Warren symbol, and I don't think it's an Inquisition symbol, but it looks like there's a mark on the chest. It could just be the stylistic form of the armor, but pretty nice. But what's more impressive, what's more interesting here is where they're stopped in front of. Like this guy right here, definitely at the Vindor Magister at the very least, but I would also probably say he could be the Archon, which would be real cool. I'm saying that because of the headdress, which could point to that. And given the armed guards, obviously at the very least it's a Magister's home, but this would be real cool if we're infiltrating a Magister's home or the Archon's headquarters or whatever it is in Deventer. I think that hints to the fact that they're keeping some of those Joplin elements that they had before, which they said you will be, you know, kind of acting like a spy and infiltrating things, or taking that approach if you want to. If they kept that in from Joplin's production into, you know, Morrison, which are the code names that they have for DA4, that would be really cool. I would actually love to see that we can actually take that approach, because there was a bit of this in DA2. They did it for like a very small minute in DA2's Mark of the Assassin DLC, but I'm hoping they'll do more of like this, like to approach situations completely differently, whether you want to do like brute force your way in there or sneak in, or, you know, just outsmart them. So if you can approach an entrance different ways, I'm all for that. Alright, going forward. Now this is an issue. I don't know. This definitely doesn't seem like Deventer to me. If I had to guess where this is, given like the statue and everything, given how the building looks like it's a fortress, I would think this is Weishaupt, because this kind of says, like, it seems like it's Weishaupt to me, because this right here by itself looks like a griffin statue of some sort. The fact that it's embedded into the mountains, which I believe, no, I'm thinking that's the wrong place, but I would assume this is Weishaupt given the architecture for it. It seems more like the idea, which I don't know if we're gonna go to Weishaupt. That would be really cool, but alright, now this really makes me think we're going to Weishaupt at the very most, because this is a griffin. This is like carved into the mountain. Again, it's like the same kind of, you know, tower that we had in the previous concept art. Very similar, if not exactly the same. But I think this is Weishaupt. I think we're going to. I guess it might be a watchtower in the Fells, because the more I'm thinking about this, I could see us going to Weishaupt, especially given what's said later in the trailer. But concept art is kind of pointing me to Weishaupt, that we're going to visit there. Lead creature animator. She animates the creatures that we're going to be seeing in the new game. Esther Ko. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I don't want to showing disrespect or anything. If I can't pronounce it, if I pronounce it incorrectly, I do apologize. This is cool because look at this. This is a magic bow. Like he is shooting lightning in some form of a bow here, and then this person is using the same kind of. These are not glyphs, but these same kind of things to actually make a shield. And given their armor and everything, they're like more ancient, not ancient, but more, I don't know, royal kind of guards, given how they're dressed and everything. So this is interesting. I'm not sure where this is. Or obviously, I wouldn't know where this is, but given their wardrobes, the way that the magic they're using, this is really interesting. So they may be like royal guards protecting someplace. Either we're fighting them or perhaps we have to help them later. But this is interesting, especially this bow shooting lightning. This is really cool. If this is a new technique we use as a mage, this would be cool because then we can actually do very far, like strong lightning distance attacks, maybe even shoot fire, and have shields that come up to protect our mages, which would be really cool. Actually, that would be a real cool concept to actually have in the game. Luke Chris Jansen, the senior writer. I guess he's gonna be working along Patrick Weeks, which we do see him later in the video. Now, this concept art, this is interesting because I have no idea what this could be. Obviously, I don't think that the Venter, given the ruins, I would think this is more of an elven ruin. Kind of like the places we saw when we went to Luvians. But obviously I don't think this is obviously not the Fade either, because it doesn't give off the aura of the Fade. If I had to venture a guess on what this is, I would think this is wherever Sodus is hiding. I think this is Sodus kind of, building his army, because these look like the caravans that the elves use that get pulled by their hollow. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sodus has now made it to where their magic can make these things, for the most part, fly. Because you even see a person right here, like on top of them, on top of one of the caravans. You see somebody like strapping it down, and people dropping off things. I would highly and safely say this is definitely elves, gearing up for potentially a war. Most likely I'm particularly thinking this is from Sodus. I'm thinking this is like where he's hiding, maybe. I don't think we're gonna visit this place. I think, again, already visiting 2-3 places is already much. This right here seems kind of like much if we actually visit this. But again, I don't know. That's my guess at it. Now this is not, strike me as to Venter. This right here seems more, well, we'll kind of, I guess, picture Ravena look like, because it's a lot more. It screams Josephine to me. Like, I don't know why, it just reminds me of Josephine in some way, because it's very inviting. It's very like clustered because of how it's built, but at the same time it's very more inviting than what I think Venter would be. Venter, I feel like it's more dark and just kind of ominous. This doesn't seem very ominous to me. It kind of feel like it's more industrial. But at the same time, the reason I think this might be Ravane, because this is really, water-based, and it looks like it has a lot of ports. So this would kind of fit it being Ravane, to me. She is Ravane, right? I'm thinking Ravane, so I don't know, that's what I think, in my opinion. So I think this might be Ravane if they show it or revisit it. This is just rendered text for entering a cave in a snowy area. Couldn't tell you what this is, but it looks dwarven for the most part, because again, it's very blocky, so that screams dwarven to me. So that's not much here to see. Let's see. And then this is the same tree we saw before in a previous trailer. Still very ominous looking. I would assume it's probably where Sodus is, probably part of where Sodus is hiding, maybe, or maybe something more ominous than that. Obviously, these look like, kind of like graves, so that does freak me out. Maybe an elven graves, potentially. Maybe even like the alienage, because I don't know. I'm still not sure, 100% sure what this tree is, because it looks like it's corrupted by red lyrium. Now this is real. This is interesting. This is probably one of the new creatures that we're gonna encounter in the game. Very dinosaur-like, very short arms, very like pincer-like mouth here. This is kind of creepy. And the more you get into this, you're gonna see a lot of things with pincers. I don't know what the heck is going on, but it looks like the things up north in Thetis are kind of rough. Now this is interesting because what I think this is where the dwarves ambassador meets with the Venter, because in the Venter's history they've constructed buildings where dwarves can meet with the magisters and everything, but not pretty much see the surface or see the sky, so they don't lose their caste. So I think this is what that is, because obviously this is dwarven structure. It's like from the structure of the doorway to the architecture here, and just this screams dwarven, obviously. But the fact that you can see some sunlight, I think this is like a place for the ambassadors for dwarves and to Venter magisters to meet, but for dwarves not to lose their caste. I think that's what this is. Alright, another dwarven statue. That's not something we haven't seen before. I don't think we're going back to the Frostback Mountains. Like I said, I don't think we're going back to Faraz or anything like that. Actually, you know what? We could be going to, what was the other dwarven society it wasn't Kalsharok, was it? Was it Kalsharok? I want to say it was. But we could be seeing that other dwarven society. That would be really cool. Again, that's a whole nother area that I don't know if we're going to get that many places to visit. But don't know how big the game actually is. Now this is pretty cool, because in this scene they're saying you are a person with no power, trying to find things to do, but at the same time there are people with power who are ignoring the problems. And my initial thought was, because I remember this from the Bioware Amino, some Bioware forums, and people were like this idea, and I'm hands down for it, that one of the origins, if they decide to do multiple origins for this game, is that we will start out as a Deventer slave, which, given how this guy he look like he's actually enjoying it, which is kind of weird, but these two look like they're kind of, especially the Canary female doesn't like, they're particularly wanting to do this. But this kind of makes me think like, oh, we could start out as a Deventer slave and kind of start an uprising, which would be really cool. I do like that idea. I really hope they kind of go with that. So that would be a real interesting thing to see. And again, this obviously is the Venter game, because of the headdresses that this woman's wearing, that this guy's wearing, that the cloak he's wearing, the structure, it looks to Venter, right? Even this guy, he looks like he's to Venter. Everything about this screams to Venter, especially with the Canary here, giving it like, the friction between Canary and the Venter people. It's amazing. But I also want to say, female Canary, oh my god, need this so much. We really need this in DA4. If they don't give me a female Canary companion, I'm gonna lose it. But going back to what I said, I think this could be hinting at maybe an origin where we start out as a Deventer slave, or start out as the leader of slave rebellion. Alright, now this next concept art is very cool, very interesting. I have no idea what this could be, because I don't know if this is concept art for Deventer. I don't know if this is concept art for some random place that we may just see. So, and obviously all concept art doesn't make it into a game like you may initially think about it, because this might be concept art of like how they wanted Deventer to look in one aspect and they change it to another thing. So it could just be changing. It could just be showing us like what we thought we were gonna do, what they thought they were gonna do, and then they changed it to this. Or maybe this might be some islands, or for all we know, these could be places rising up from the sea. It could be multiple different things, but it's hard to say what these are and what this might be. So I can't really comment on that. Actually, here's Patrick Weeks, lead writer, which happy to see him back. He's gonna make some good story. Now this is interesting, because I can't tell who this is. My first thought is it's a Canary. That's obviously my first thought. Because if this is it, that might be. I don't know. It just screams Canary because this helmet looks like the one the Avar, not the Avar. Oh, what are their names? The ones who control the Canary mages. I know it sounds like I just can't remember the name for them right now. But it looks like their helmets. The weapon, very red. Like the Canary have very red like designs and everything. So I'm thinking this is a Canary. This looks like a Tevinter, I guess, warrior or soldier. And then this giant Canary just came out and just knocked all of his, buddies out, and he's the last one. He's there just pointing out, just like, give you a minute. Actually, it would be cool if if they do origins, like multiple origins. I would be cool if this was one of the origins where we actually start out as a Tevinter soldier, and we, just decided to desert or whatever and going out and help the rebellion. That would be another cool origin, because I think this is funny that he's pointing out his finger and he's saying wait. And I feel like that's something a protagonist only does, because there's no way a random soldier does this who's an NPC. Alright, going forward. Now this is obviously back in Tevinter. This guy right here with the giant shoulder pads and the long cloak, obviously a mage. He's more on the older side, so maybe he's a teacher. He might be a professor. This actually might be the Circle of Magi in Tevinter, where they're treated more as a school and it's a privilege to get in, because no one here pretty much looks like an actual slave of Tevinter, except for this guy right here whose clothes are a little ragged. But the rest of them look like they're studying. They're going into places for learning, examining creatures and stuff like that. So this might be the Circle of Magi in Tevinter, where they just study magic, and apparently new machines, because this is a mechanical armor of some sort here. That's my best guess of what this is. So I think that's what this is, if I had to take a venture guess. Alright, going here further. Patrick be speaking more. There's the director. Now this is an interesting piece of art, so I'm gonna go left to right here on what I think the characters are. And starting with this one right here, I think she screams mage to me. So at the very least, I think we're gonna have one female mage. Looks like she looks very. She seems to be she'll just dress a little in ornament dressing, so that could be interesting. But I'm assuming she's a mage. Now I'm hoping with this, that means that's confirmed that we're gonna have a female Canary companion. More than likely, she's gonna be a warrior, if I had to venture a guess, because usually Canaries are more warriors. I don't think it's gonna be, a mage Canary. I think that kind of accent. I'm not saying that's too much. That's kind of pushing it, given how we know the Canary handle their mages and everything. So I'm more likely to say that she's a warrior. Given her build and everything, she could be a rogue, but given how I'm looking at everybody else as well, but I'm assuming she's gonna be the warrior. This guy right here screams assassin to me. He screams like he's gonna be a rogue, most likely daggers, given how he has light armor. So yeah, I can see him being. Actually, it might be a bow in the back behind him as well. So I'm assuming he might be a rogue. Now this character right here, this might be the protagonist, because I don't see any distinguishing features of, male, female, race. Well, I can't tell. But he also might be a Tevinter Magister that's on our side, so that might be a thing. So at this point we have two mages, one warrior, one rogue, so maybe he might be a Magister or a mage as well. Or he might be the protagonist, so hard to say. Now this character right here, the thing they're holding, that might be the crossbow we saw in the other concept art when they were attacking the Archons or the Magister's home. So that might be the crossbow. So this person might be obviously an archer, so that make them a rogue. Also, but given I can't see both strings or anything, which they could just be collapsible inside the mechanism, this looks like they're holding a rifle, which we know there are no traditional guns in Dragon Age other than the ones we saw in the Ascent DLC, held by the Sharper Tall. But I don't think this person could have found this in reverse engineered it, but I doubt that. That's actually too much. I'm thinking this might be just a giant crossbow. So there's another assassin for us, another rogue for us. This person right here, this one screams Assassin's Creed, so it has to be a rogue. Definitely has to be a rogue. At that point, that's 3 rogues at this point. Yeah, this screams assassin, man. Even this right here, that's like the Assassin's Creed symbol. That's kind of strange. I think this is an assassin, hands down. There's not much more I can say about this. This person right here, he can be one of 2 things. I think he can either be a rogue, or he can. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, not a rogue. He can either be a warrior or a mage. Given his attire, I'm more leaning towards mage, because that just seems like a better fit for him. Hard to say. I think he might be a mage. I don't know, because I also don't see a weapon. And again, this is also going, if this is the protagonist, then they might just be a stand-in. But at the same time, this person could also be a warrior mage, so I don't know. But I'm gonna go with he's a mage. That would give us, ignoring this one in the middle, that would give us, what, 2 mages? 2 mages. Actually, no. He might be a warrior, because the more I think about it, I don't know. But let's get to this guy right here. This one right here is the most interesting person other than the female Canary on this list, because this looks like a spirit. A lot like Justice, Anders. A little bit more than what Cole represented. But this looks like a straight out spirit. It might be possessing a corpse like Justice was doing in Awakening, but obviously this is definitely spirit, given like what's going around them. I don't think this would be a mage. There's no staff. There's something to suggest they're a mage. They have to have used some kind of magic, but I'm guessing spirit. So he could be a warrior spirit, where he just fights like a warrior. Kind of like how Cole was a spirit, but he fought like a rogue. Or he could be, he used some form of magic. So kind of moving on, because I'm getting kind of time. Now this is really cool, because it kind of confirms that one of these people was a elf, and given the staff, it looks like a bow staff. So I would assume it's a rogue, but I'm gonna just go ahead and think that's a mage, because we've never seen anyone in Dragon Age use a bow staff, which that would be a really cool weapon, but don't think they're using a bow staff. That has to be an elven mage. Definitely a rogue, given the daggers. So kind of safe to say this is a rogue. This could either be the protagonist, or it could be a warrior. This could be the hooded person we saw earlier. So that person actually could have so that one could be this female character here. Kind of looks like very similar clothing with the hood and everything. So that could be a rogue, and also with the long sword. That could be a warrior. That could be what they are. And then definitely this screams warrior to me, because of how obviously female Canary matches pretty much the same kind of horn style, kind of same clothing. So I'm thinking, yeah, definitely warrior. Berserker mostly. I kind of hope they don't make her a berserker, because that seems kind of the obvious choice if we do have her as a character, as a companion. Associate the producer. Not this, I don't have much to say on it. It's just obviously looks like we're probably gonna be fighting some dragons, defending some people. So you never know, but that's kind of part of course in Dragon Age. Now this, I saw this fan art. I saw this art on Twitter. Didn't know what this was. I thought it was fan art at first, but this is really cool, because maybe this is a person that we encounter and they give us missions, or they help us sneak around the capital. This would be cool. I don't know who this character is. It's really nice. But what I also think is, given I'm seeing crows here, I'm thinking this would be really cool if this character was a new hand of the Divine. Whoever we made Divine in Inquisition, maybe they're the new hand of the Divine, right, left hand, whatever. I would assume the left hand, given how she's sneaking around. That would be real cool. But maybe she's just a vigilante interventor of some sort. But I hope this is a character that we actually get to meet, because this is really cool. I hope they keep this in there. All right, go down. Now here, this is real cool. This is soulless. Like, this looks amazing. Look at the magic coming out of his eyes, his hands. And he even has a dire wolf, man. Like, I am jealous of this right here. I better give me a dire wolf, man. Because this is real cool concept art. And so that soulless is a lot stronger now. He's gonna be a lot more fearsome, a lot more harder to take on. Like, this concept art looks really cool and really amazing. You see he has the wolf jawbone around his neck. So this is real cool. Now this is like, I guess this is more concept art, but it still pretty much looks like Soulless. You can tell markings, you know, chin and everything. That's very much Soulless with the egghead and all that. But his features, especially like in these first two, they're much more, you know, broad. Like, he looks a lot bigger, a lot more like masculine than he did before, which is interesting. I would think, you know, he would stay, you know, kind of slender, because he had a very slender frame. And this doesn't make me think he's slender. That's like, this is just a real close up of it. So he may still look kind of slender, but in these first two, he looks very, you know, like his features have become more broad, everything. The third image looks more like him, so I don't know. Now this is real cool, because you get to see like the motion of Soulless' face. You can see veins, you can see the cart, and this is just real cool because this already looks pretty nice, but also looks really creepy and scary. But this is probably the scariest thing here. What is this duck face? Why did they this? Oh god, no! I don't need to see this. All right. Now here's the voice of Soulless.
The Dread Wolf.
This is real cool because the line he gives is pretty nice.
When this is over.
That line is dope. They call me the Dread Wolf. What will they call you when this is over? So right away you can already tell he's talking to the protagonist, I would assume. And we know it's not the Inquisitor. Otherwise he would not, because Soda sounds very fierce, very angry, does not want us to be around him. And that tells us that we have not established ourselves, we have no name, we are an up-and-comer. So we're going the whole, you know, Dragon Age tradition with new protagonists, and we're gonna have to build our own, you know, legacy and everything like we always do, which I'm always up for, which is really cool. All right, this is the devs. Look like this was when they were working in their new Bioware office, so very nice. Let's see, and then this is the motion capture. With this is creepy. I'm thinking he's running kind of like more of like an undead. That's mostly what I'm getting the feel of. Undead, zombie, skeleton, that's literally what I'm getting from here. Now this motion capsule, this is real cool, because you see how she's moving on this very thin line, and how she's moving, especially you can definitely compare it to like this third frame right here, is following the same, you know, pattern that she's doing, which actually that's what motion capture is. I'm trying to figure out, is this something our character's gonna be doing? Are we gonna be sneaking around? We're gonna be able to actually just like kind of just sleuth around like we are and just approach things differently, which are, again, I really hope we do. So that would be real cool. Now this one, the next frame, is real cool because this keeps one of the very cool skills in Inquisition I like as a warrior, the combat roll. I love the combat roll. The combat roll was so nice to me because I just loved being able to get out of the way on a moment's notice when the attacks coming in. Obviously this is like still very, very basic work, but to see that the combat roll's still there, that just makes me personally happy. Alright. That's a really big sword, really big shield. Alright. We see one of the writers for the game. Now this is cool. This I can already tell. This is a Grey Warden. No, I'm not sure if that's gonna be. This is exclusive for Grey Warden because these look like griffins on the shield. That's definitely griffins. So this might be exclusive for the Grey Warden. I'm guessing companion that we get, which would be fine if they have exclusive skills for themselves. That's cool. That identifies that character as this who can do these things. That's really cool. It may take some customability out of the game, like you want to build your companions how you want to build them, but I think, you know, giving companions those skills that's for them alone shows like how they are individuals. So this would be real cool. But this is definitely a Grey Warden. Given the helmet, given the shield, this is real cool because it's like a party defense, I'm guessing. Or it could be like Lion in the Sand, which was I think that was the ability in Inquisition where you make a choke point where enemies can't get through. So if that's what that is, then that means we're leaning some more to tactical combat, which is always a plus. Always want to see that tactical combat come back into play. So this is cool. Now this is cool because this is confirmation of a potential companion, if not an NPC. But this, I hope I really don't, butcher your name. Her name is Ji Young Han. She's voicing a character named Balara. Or I'm gonna go as Balara. That's how I'm reading it. But she could very well be voicing a new companion, which means we have our first confirmed companion for DA4 potentially, which is really cool. I'm kind of speed this along because I'm kind of taking a lot more time than I thought I would in this video. And this right here is disturbing. Look at these claws. If we have to fight something like this is something out of Stormtroopers. Or not Starship Troopers. If you've seen that movie, you know that movie is disturbing. But look at this. These skeletons, like this is a muddy water. This is a muddy surface probably like on a beach. But to fight something like that's a new creature. That's disturbing. Like, where the hell is this dang face? Is that his face? Because this tentacle thing, like, I don't know what this is. This is disturbing. We have to fight this. Maybe it's a new type of dragon. I don't know. And this is cool. At first I didn't know what the heck this was. I thought it was just like a wraith. I thought it might have been a very giant zombie, skeleton warrior, whatever. But I'm thinking this thing is corrupted by blight magic. Because look at its weapon, look at its skin. It looks like it's corrupted by blight magic. If this is some kind of wraith corrupted by blight magic, or by a blight or red lyrium, that's ridiculous. Because this looks real cool. So I'm hoping we kind of, as much as I probably don't want to actually fight these things, I hope we encounter them in DA4. Oh my god, nope. We're going past that. Just no. Whole lot of nope. I've said this before, I hate spiders. I don't know what that thing was, but it had human hands as well. So, no. Not reviewing that thing. It can die. I hope it doesn't come out of this production. I hope I don't see that thing in DA4. If I do, I'm burning my house down. No. Okay. Now this is cool because this is a projectile. I'm kind of afraid to go back. Okay. What is shooting this? I don't know, because this looks like a dang satellite shooting this beam. Again, this is, very early production of the game. But he's being able to defend himself with a shield, magic, and everything against the magic. Don't know, this could just be like how the attack may just be going through, how they want to visualize the attack. But can't really determine anything from this. Now here is our second potentially confirmed companion, who is a Grey Warden. He stands for the Grey Wardens, and his name is Davrin, which cool. That kind of confirms, like, given like what we saw earlier, I'm assuming we have a Grey Warden companion, even if it's for a minute. Has to be a Grey Warden companion, or maybe he plays into our origin story where we start as a Grey Warden. I don't know, but we already know two confirmed characters at this point: Balara and Davrin. I'm sorry. Then we have gameplay director Andrew Garcia. I don't know what this is. This is more tentacle stuff. I don't know, or roots. It looks like it's red lyrium. Don't know what this is. Did you see the X, Y, and Z axis here? So I can't comment on what this is. Maybe it's something blighted with lyrium that's trying to drag us down. We see some more of these things with what look like deep root blighted with red lyrium again. So this, obviously we're going into a cave. It also looks like it's popping out the ground here. Maybe we shouldn't go into here. This looks like, this is eerie by itself. Alright, she is the RPG programmer, Katrina Barkwell. Alright. Again, it looks like we're in that same kind of area where it's blighted with red lyrium. And again, I think this is our Grey Warden companion. It looks like they're fighting something like it. I mean, that's something coming out of that. Looks like it could be one of those freaky spiders we saw with hands. I don't like that. Get rid of it. All right. Some more environmental things, which is really nice. I'm not concerned about the environments because I know those are going to come out beautifully. Now this thing, I don't know what this is. I don't think it's a Titan. In my opinion, I don't think it's big enough. It looks ancient. Looks like it's just waking up. I have no idea what this could be. I mean, for all I know, it might be a Titan, but for me, I think it looks too small. But it could just be the scope of what we see in the production is right now. I mean, it could be a Titan because in its eyes and its mouth and like in its hands and some parts of its body, if that's parts of its body, that looks like lyrium. But I don't think it's a Titan. This is really cool. It's a new creature. I just don't know. It could be a giant rock wraith, maybe. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, doesn't scream Titan to me. But I could be wrong. It could actually be a Titan. It could be much bigger than we actually can get a scope of right now. So I don't know. Hopefully it's friendly. All right, and let's see. This could be the vendor. It could be, Chantry statues. That's some blighted lyrium thing here. Again, it's like the dwarven structure into Venture again. It's very dwarven architecture. But this is cool because it's like a very upgraded shell bash. I think they're just using the Grey Warden sprite as a thing to test out abilities. This looks real cool because this is like, again, this is like an upgraded scale bash. Like you can hit your opponent and then knock him back with probably like the force, which probably might do some AoE, knockback, which would be really cool. But this looks cool as far as like the animation for it goes. Alright, let's see if we get into the tail end here. Now the last bit of concept art is really cool. This looks like, outside looks like we're in the Fade. It's like a sacrificial chamber or maybe a table. I don't know, this is interesting. I don't know what this is. Let me put a wild guess out here. I think this is where the Avenuris probably met, like for council meetings. That would be cool, because this is kind of, given if it's the Fade and everything, this is kind of, actually no. Hold up. Because now that I'm seeing it, these look like Grey Warden banners. Oh, this might be Weiss up. Oh, it might be Weiss up. Oh crap, alright. Alright, let's go buy something. These kind of like the companion we saw earlier with the, very smoky face. We didn't see his get a good glimpse at him, but I don't know. This could be our companion who took over a corpse, but at the same time, this could be screaming Navara because, the Mortatatassi reanimating the dead. This, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to visit Navara. That seems like a bit much, but looks cool. Don't know what they did to this dragon. Popped out its eye. Maybe, they did some experiments. This, I don't know what this is. This is some Cthulhu creepy, old god type thing, man. I don't know what this is. This thing is huge. They're going crazy with these huge monsters like the nightmare demon we had to fight in Inquisition. I don't look forward to fighting this thing. This thing is creepy, man. Like, where is this face? What's up with these pincers? And you have a lone, like, snake-like tail. I don't know what this thing is, man. It looks like they want us to fight it. Then this guy, he just looks like he's a pirate. He looks like he's just burned the bullet and now he's just, pirating it up. So maybe one of our origin stories is a pirate. I don't know. But anyway, that is all we have. And then, guys, if you go to this website, once you go to DragonAge.com, you can actually apply to get, new updates for news and everything that they come out with Dragon Age, which is really cool. But what this video really definitely shows us that they're hard at work on Dragon Age. They're, in that early production stage, which is really good. They have at least 2 to 3 years before this game is actually, ready to be released. Which I know it's been 4 years. Wait, no, not 4 years. It's been 6 years since Inquisition, right? 2014. It's been 6 years since Inquisition. which that's a long time to wait for like the next installment of the game. We've been patient for a long time, guys, but we're getting into that stretch now where we're starting to see like some production from the Bioware team. So I think we're gonna see much more news from them. I'm excited for it. I hope the Bioware team is staying healthy. I hope they're staying safe. You know, social distancing. I hope they're keeping their health in check. But at the same time, I'm very happy that they're also still working on this game. But most of all, I hope they stay safe and work productively while staying safe. And I'm very excited to see what they show us next. So this video has gone on long enough, guys. I'm gonna end it here. I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Been Arel and Unsell. Later, Wolfpack.